Yep. So we are looking at all the positions where the king has to escort the pawn. So I think this again is simple. King to h4, obviously, right? And black king is forced away because he cannot come to f5. So he is able to, I mean, he cedes the square g5 to the white king. And then e6, g6, e7, g7, e7, this one, yeah. So actually, this is not a rook pawn, right? This is a knight pawn. So it is not that, I mean, already king is having the critical squares already covered. So very simple, this is enough. Now the pawn will simply roll down, right? So that is that. Okay. This, any questions? Simple,
No,
right?
sir. No, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, if it is a rook pawn, then rook pawn is our nemesis, right? What happens? What is this position? What do you think will happen?
Draw.
Yeah. This is a draw. There is no way because the black king is already occupying the queen's square, queening square of the rook pawn, and there is no way to take him out. So that's it. So it's a draw, right? There is no way you can displace the king, right? So rook pawns are thing. Now in this position also, what happens? What is this position? What's the result?
Draw.
Draw because the king can't reach the key squares.
Draw.
Yes, yes, you are right. So white king gets imprisoned in the on the H file, and the keys. What are the critical squares? The critical squares are G7 and G8, right? For the rook pawn, H pawn. So white's H pawn. So the critical squares are G7 and G8. White is not allowed to enter those two squares with his king because black king is always going to fend him off, right? So now remember here, king black, if plays king f6, then it's a loss because then king will go to white king will go to g8, critical square reached, and then he is able to probably still not. I think king okay.
The pawn.
Yeah, because the pawn is still far away. So let us put this. Let us put this position. Pawn is on h4, king is on h7, and sorry, king is on f. Yeah, let's put this. Board editor. Pawn is on h4. Black king is on f7. White king is on h7, and it is, who is to play? Was it black to play? No, it was white. Okay, so white to play. So here white plays thing. Now black can play here just in this move, but generally this is not. I mean, your strategy should be to play to f8. Okay, because f8 and f7 are covering the g7 and the g8 critical squares. Now in this particular position, black can still draw because if white tries to occupy the critical square, then black has got king to g5 and then the pawn will be killed. So that is why it's a tactical resource. But in general, what should white do is and because of this, white will play this and then black will play this, and white will play king to h8 and black will play king to f8, and that's it. So after that, king f7, sorry, h7, king f7, king h8, king f8, and if you do this, then also this is a stalemate, right? So that is the so this is the draw, right? So this is the classic draw for the rook pawn, right? But here instead of king f6 after h5, black can also play king to f8. Okay, that will also be a draw because white king, if he tries to come back, then anyway black king is occupying the critical square, and then black king will occupy the h8 square also, right? And then there is no way to displace. And if white does not do this, white simply does this, then black also will do this, right? So black will shuttle between f7 and f8 and not allow the white king to reach the g8 and g7 squares, right? So this is the technique for the draw. All right, where are we with respect to fourth position? Okay. We are looking in the board from the black side. Huh? The bottom row is the black. Okay, and the top row is white. So, so black king. What do you think of this position?
This is a draw.
It's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw because black will win the white's pawn.
White pawn before white can catch up to black's pawn.
Correct. But so is does that mean then black will win?
Not really, because white's king would be in the square and would make it clear.
Yeah, not in the square. White's king has to prevent the black king from reaching the critical square of, what are the critical square now? It's a black's a pawn is going up the board. So the critical squares are b2 and b1, right? Up the board. So white king has to prevent black king from reaching b2 or b1. So let us see what happens. King a5, right?
King c6.
King, if black had played king c5, then even then it's a draw.
No, no, I'm talking about white's move.
Okay, white. King c6, yeah. Then black takes it. White plays up. Now black has to push the pawn, and white takes this one. So now we
So can you go a bit behind?
yeah.
Yeah, before the pawn pushes.
So why don't we let us check it
Yeah.
on? Let us check it on this board. So there is a4, a7, king b6, and king d7, right?
Yes, sir. So can we go to the point where black captures the pawn?
We'll analyze it. It is a4, a7, b6, and white king is on d7. Okay, and this is the what is the thing to? It is black to play. It is black to play. Analysis board and f5. Sorry, yeah, black to play. So we have already oriented it. So black plays king to a5, right? White plays king to c6. Correct? Any doubt about this? There is no doubt, right?
No, sir. Can you now capture the pawn?
Yeah, you can capture.
Yes. What if black plays b3?
a3.
No, king b3, king b3, king b3.
King b3, yeah.
Yes,
Then you
sir.
get king b5.
Your black pawn is never going to survive.
Right.
So that is the reason. So you can't just run with the king. Your pawn also has to be with you. So that is why the black plays this. And the moment black plays this, white gets this. Right? Now there is no way to.
Sir, how about a6?
How about what? Your voice is feeble again.
A
King
I guess
a6.
he's saying a6.
no,
Instead of
not king
a5.
a6.
Huh?
The pawn.
Where pawn? How can pawn move? It is pawn has to.
Before when the pawn plays a5, she's asking if what if the pawn does a6 instead of.
But instead of this a6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it gets one more move.
Yeah, but white will still go here now.
Okay.
Right? If you go down, it's a bit dangerous. White will still play king to c3. Now what? Now if you have to go back with your king. Okay. Otherwise, if you go forward with the king, then white king comes here and the black pawn is lost. So you have to go back with the king, and the moment you go back, white king will occupy this. That's it. Now, no matter what you do. In fact, here, that's it. It's a rook pawn. So king has already, forget about the critical squares. King will occupy the A1 square. There is no way nothing they would displace him. Right? Got it? Anybody has any doubts about this? Original position starting. Is there any scope for winning?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay. So let us go to the next position then. What should, this is interesting. I will put this position on the board. Okay, so this is on G and H. Okay, all right. Fi and E6. Sorry, Fi and E3. Okay, all right. Black to play. Oh, yo, I put the wrong way, I think. I put the wrong way. Sorry. Clear board. So it is G and H. So here it is. Pawns are here and here.
Sir, you can just flip the board and put the same position that you put earlier.
Yeah, but I'm just checking. The pawns are on where? H4 and they were on where? H4 and no, H3 and G4, huh? H3 and G4. Okay, sorry. So H3 and G4, not here and here. Yeah, this is the position. This was the position. Black queen was here, I believe, and king was here, and white king was on E3, and white queen was on F5. Yeah, this was the position, and black to play. Yeah, this was the position, right? So, what is your opinion of this position?
Queen to G1.
Is it a win for black?
It is black to play, sorry, and yeah, but
Queen
what
to
is
G1.
Yeah.
Does black win? I think black wins.
black should win, right? Black should win. Only thing is that there are queens on the board, so it is like,
Oh no, queen to F3 check exchanges the queens.
sorry, queen to F3 check.
Yeah, queen to F3 check.
The king is trapped. The black king is trapped.
No, black,
No, but
black king is not trapped. What he is saying is, let us exchange the queen because the pawn is going up the board, right? Black pawn. We are looking at it from the
Yeah, so win for black.
so forcing the exchange, and this now
and now white takes the pawn
Now
and
king-
then
King
so
to
white
no,
takes the
king
pawn,
to
white,
king to F2.
This is a blunder. So king to F2 is the right move. See, and king to F3 taking the pawn is a loss because king goes to G1
Yeah.
and pawn will queen. Right? You have given him the access to the critical square. Again, critical squares become important. So white does not take the pawn. It does not take
But-
the pawn. King to F2.
Yeah,
Okay.
the king is trapped now.
Now it is a draw. Right? So exchanging the queens on F3 was a mistake. So this actually happened in the game. Okay. So because black got carried away, just like I think he did not fully calculate. What he thought was that I'm 2 pawns up. Let me force the exchange of the queens. Queen getting exchanged. And he only thought that, oh, white will take the pawn. I will move to g1 and the pawn will queen. But he did not see that, oh, white can instead not take the pawn and go to f2. And now there is no way. From this position, it is a draw. Just check. Because what happens? Only the king can play here. If the king plays here, then white king will also play, not take the pawn. Again, it will be a mistake if he takes the pawn. Because if he takes the pawn, then again king g1 and then it will run through. So king goes to f1. Okay. So now, if black pushes the f2 pawn, then king will take it on f2. But if black pushes h2, then king will come here and it's a stalemate anyway. Right? So, and if this, then anyway, this is still a draw. This is still a draw, right? So calculations are important even in the end game. And just to know, I think today morning I have an excellent example where I think Uday and me were playing. Uday, our game, I think I blundered on similarly in the end game. I was pretty sure I was able to, I was going to queen my pawn, and one careless move, even when time was there, and I just blundered, and and after that I lost, right? Because it was I had sacrificed a piece for a pawn, so I had to queen my pawn. So if I didn't queen my pawn, then it was a loss. So Uday won a fantastic game with me today morning. Again, I mean, there was time, but still, yeah, this is what I mean. That we have to put your mind, you have to discipline that. Don't play instinctively. Still play after thinking and writing down or whatever, right? Yeah, maybe writing down is not possible in 7-minute game, but still, you have to properly think through what you think is almost won, and you just make one slip and it can be gone. And I will show you later. In the class, I will just show you that end game very quickly. Okay, so this is this, then this position is now very similar. White to play, what should white do?
White can't do anything, right? Oh no, king
King
b3.
to C.
King to b3.
Let us put this on the board. There is a black pawn on a3 and on c6, right? a3 and c6. King is on, white king is on c4 and black king is on a1. Let us put this. Clear board. Where did we say? A3, and sorry, not here. Black pawn is on E3 and on C6. Black king is on A1. White king is on C4. Right? And it is white to play.
So I think it's king b3, because if you play king c3, then it's king b1, and then you can't stop the promotion.
Correct. Anyone else think about it, everyone? What should white do?
King B3.
King b3.
King b3 does indeed sound.
King b3.
Yeah. Because now the thing is that black cannot play king to b1 safely. If he can play king to b1 safely, then one move also, then next move he will play a2 and it is all be gone. So now he cannot do that. So black is forced to play a2. And now
And then
what?
after that,
King to C2.
king to c2.
Now don't worry about other black pawn. It will come slowly and you will be able to capture it also. But you don't have to go after that pawn. So the moment if you go after that, so if white plays even king c3, then it's a gone, right? Because black king will play to b1. He has got on the critical square. So critical square prevention, these are the critical squares for this pawn, for the rook pawn. So white has to guard it. So now black has no option other than moving the pawn. So white will move this, let the pawn come. Now also don't take the pawn, come down to f1, sorry, c1. Let the pawn come here and then take it, and now it's a stalemate. Yeah. Everyone got this?
Yes, sir.
The pawns are disconnected, so that's the thing. And one of them is the rook pawn and other is the bishop pawn. So white king takes advantage of that. He does not need to worry. If the pawns were connected, then obviously white king is in deep trouble. Then there is no way. Right? Okay, fine. So this position number 7 also we saw. Number 8. Black to play.
King to G2.
Yeah,
King to G2.
king to G2 simply wins. Right? Critical square reached by the black king and the pawn is not in danger. White king is also not near the black pawn. So if you can reach the critical square without worrying about your own pawn and it will reach safely, then you have reached the winning position. So this is a win for black after king to G2. Right. Okay. Here, white to play.
King F8.
King F1.
Correct. King F1. King F1 prevents the G2 critical square from being reached by the black king. And after that, no matter, even if black king plays to H2, white king will play to F2. F2. King will play to F1, F2, F1, F2 and prevent the black king from reaching the critical square of G1 or G2. And after that, it's a draw. Right? Everyone agrees or anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What is this position here? White to play. Let us put it on the board. So it is A5, A4 and G5. Black has got G5. A5 and G5. White has got a pawn here. White has got his king here. And black king is on, I believe, is on exactly middle, right? So he's in D5, I believe. Or where is he? Yeah, D5. And it is white to play. Sorry. So it is white to play. Yeah. So what do you think of this position?
Sir, white has to take the pawn.
King G5.
Yeah, white has to take the pawn, but what is the end result?
White is a few moves short.
It's a draw.
It's a win.
Or it's a win for black.
It's a win for black.
Because black will reach this square.
First move is you have to take it, right? Or do you think anything else?
Yeah, so you have to take it, right?
Yeah.
Take it. King to C4. King to F4. King to B4. Now where? Where should white play?
King E3.
E3.
King E3.
King E3. Black takes this pawn.
So it's a draw.
Now where?
It's occupying the critical
Oh yeah, it's a
squares.
draw.
King to
King
D2.
King
Then
is
king
occupying
B3.
the
C3 and white king to C1. So the white king has reached C1 and preventing black from reaching the critical square. So it's a draw now, no matter what black does. Right? Agreed? Or anyone thinks black can win? Any chance for black to win?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there is no way, because if you go, you have seen it. If you go to the in front of the pawn, then white king will just play on C1, C2, C1, C2. And if you don't go in front of the pawn, then white king will slip through. If you do something like this, then anyway white will come here, right? And if you do anything like this also, then white will simply play this. So that is it. So that after that it is a draw. So yeah, I think this was relatively what you call simpler positions, but we just looked at. But this is important aspect to remember. Okay, and I think fairly this principle is easy to probably make. What you call that critical squares is easy, especially for the rook. The critical squares are important, rook pawn, and that I think if you just remember it well, then I think you can go through this properly. Okay, so let me try and show you my game with Uday. Let me go today mornings. And I will not show from the beginning. I will just show the this one, the end game position.
You have 22 studies?
Yeah, because I am making it for various of my coaching this, right? 335 games here, right? This
You
one.
lost 11 rating?
Yeah.
So why exactly did you sack your pawn? Sorry, not sack your knight.
Yeah, no, that sacking the knight was
beginning.
good, I think. Do we? I think we'll just go
It
to
was-
this, right? I think no, not this. We will.
Oh, e4.
Okay, I will very run through. We'll not discuss too much about the thing. Okay, so
Can you go
I
to
just
the
want to
analysis
do the
board?
end game e4, e5,
Can
and
you go to the analysis board, sir?
sorry.
Can you go to the analysis board?
Yeah, yeah. I think that is better.
Just to make it easier.
Yeah.
Because it'll be bigger.
So, yeah, e4, e5, nf3, nc6, bc4, bc5, d3, nf6, be3, d6. This.
Sir, why did you get double pawns like that?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll discuss some other time. I think I want to quickly show the end game. And here, I just wanted to. I know this is risky, giving 2 pawns for the thing, especially when the king is not castled. And if the black king is white king is castled, then white will not play this. If he plays this, then it is really good. But I just wanted to sack and just make it interesting.
Are you white or black?
I'm black. So I sacked the
Okay.
knight for this, and white played. Uday played good because this is the best way to defend the knight. So I went here. This is the thing. I got 1 pawn extra, so I got 3 pawns for my piece now. And he attacked. I did this, but at this point of time, because of this, there is a tactic he found. Uday found this. Matlab, it is an equalization tactic, but. Yeah, so at the end of this now I have got 3 extra pawn, but the problem is one of the pawn is falling because the knight is attacking the c5 pawn and the rook is attacking the g7 pawn. So one of them is falling. Okay, and I have got only 3 pawns for the knight and one of them is going. So after this, clearly white is better because white is having 1 piece extra in the end game, an extra piece, unless I make some thing. So the white rooks are active, so I don't have enough compensation. But I was just playing this for, let us see what how does this happen. So king. So this I took it. So at some point I forgot that I have sacrificed the piece. I was somehow thinking that it is equal, and then I'm simply pawn up or something, whatever. But I exchanged the rooks and then I counted, and then I realized, oh, I don't have a minor piece. Okay, fine. Let us see. So this king here and. So I said, now, okay, let me push with my pawns and let me get my king to escort my pawn. This is okay. I went to king to g3, king to e2, king to g1. Yeah.
How come Uday has how come Uday has so much time?
Yeah, Uday was playing very fast. Uday was playing.
He's usually the one to take the most time playing.
So at this position, okay, at this position, see, I'm pretty sure I'm very easily going to win it. And somehow I see, I'll tell you what I think.
You're not on time.
No, not on time. I had enough time. I had enough.
No,
Only
like you not like you lost because you needed one extra move.
No. Actually, I have enough move here. But the thing is, okay, I'll show you here. What do you think of this position?
White's just managing.
Yeah, white can defend the queen.
I really doubt white can defend this. I made a small miscalculation here in the time of this one. Uday, what do you think? So why don't I just share this? Let us take a small break and we'll join back. Okay, so I'm going to share this position with all of you.
Uday is disconnected from the meeting.
Sorry?
Uday is disconnected from the meeting.
Is it? Why is that? Anyway, so look at this game maybe for 5 minutes, okay, at this position, and analyze and see. And we will end it here. I will stop the recording. We'll join back in exactly 4 minutes or 5 minutes, okay?